Okay. Hi, everybody. My name's Tanya Sheldon, and I'm gonna go rogue here tonight. All right. So you all saw that it was promoted that I was going to bring on Gloria Brinker, and it was going to be a pre-recorded talk that I did with her, and it was going to be about mind, body, and GLP, and people, the way people are eating, and blah blah blah. And I just felt it on my heart today. Like, I just would have been upset if I didn't follow that nudge, that I needed to pivot and talk to you about you and your story and your passion and remind you of the story of LifeVantage and how we started. And you probably heard about this on the MC call. I know that you heard about it on the SC call. And I had asked everybody, and feel free to put this in the chat as well. I don't have a co-host tonight, but Leslie, if you could even look in the chat. But I asked everybody, like, how many people got started in this company because of Mind Body? And if they got started because of Mind Body, to put a yes in the chat. And if they got started for something else, to just put a no, that it wasn't because of Mind Body. And there were two people that said, okay, there were two people that said yes to getting in for Mind Body. And yet, I feel like, and maybe I'm completely wrong, right? I said I'm going rogue, whatever. But I feel like people are in their head and they're so caught up in mind body when, and the story is different for everybody. It's not a one size fits all, but people are not being true to themselves, and they're stuck in this funnel of I must post, I must get information out there, I must talk about it, I must talk about it. And their passion about what brought them in, your passion about your story, the passion about the things you really love has completely gone to the wayside. And instead, you're just slapping stuff up on a poster in your stories because you think everybody else is doing it. Well, if you're putting information out there just because everybody else is, hoping to find a couple people that will be able to like take it and run with it, you're not speaking to your audience. You're not speaking to the person that you really want to have in your business. So I am going to play for you the ABC investigative report. And don't go off, don't leave me. I want you to watch this. And it's one that maybe you haven't seen yet, okay? And it is a little longer, but again, this is important. I feel like it's so important right now. It is the beginning of our story. It's how we began. And here's the thing, you guys. Sorry, I keep pointing. Here's the thing. When I sit down with somebody belly to belly, I typically am doing all the questions. Like, I'm asking them a bunch of questions about themselves. I want to get to who they are. And by the time it comes back to me, like, they feel like I'm their best friend because I'm very curious about them, like truly curious. Not, there's no preconceived anything in that. So when they come to me and then they ask what I do, I literally, every time I say, 11 years ago, 13 years ago, my husband had a ton of health issues, and a friend brought to me an ABC investigative report that showed after 30 days they couldn't distinguish the blood between an 80-year-old and a 20-year-old. Every time I say it, they're like, their jaw drops, their eyes bug out of their head every time. And then I say to them, I know, right? I know. It's mind-boggling to me that I get to share something like this with people. So I ordered it behind my husband's back, and I told him that he needed to take it, as skeptical as he was, and it completely changed his life. And then I stopped talking. And then they start asking questions. Well, tell me more. Well, what is it? What does it do? Right? But I always share about that ABC report after 30 days. So I'm going to share it with you again tonight. And then I want you to watch this as if you've never seen it before. I don't want you to do something else. I don't want you to not pay attention. I want you to truly listen to this and remember This is something you get to represent. And then I'm going to show you why that's such a big deal. Okay?
You want to get an edge on turning back the clock with just a few pills? Who doesn't? Well, it's no longer science fiction, but science possibility, a potential breakthrough. As I found out firsthand, there may be a way to erase years, at least inside my body. Granted, it's down the road, but some scientists are wondering if a new pill I took might offer a very long life. It may not look like the fountain of youth, but inside this nondescript building, I'm about to become part of an exciting experiment, a kind of guinea pig. Dr. McCord, okay. I'm here at the University of Colorado in Denver to meet Dr. Joe McCord, a world-renowned scientist. This is pretty exciting stuff you're finding, huh?
It is. We're very excited about it.
His latest research could very well unravel the mystery of aging itself. And his decades of experiments may have the potential of adding years to people's lives and possibly prevent chronic diseases like cancer, diabetes, and heart disease. It all centers around this small yellow pill, and for me, it begins with a blood test.
Yeah, there we go.
It wouldn't be the first time I've given blood for this company. They want to check my levels of something called T-bars, which is a rough indicator of a person's actual age. T-bars can identify a condition known as oxidative stress, a kind of measure of the wear and tear on our bodies. Oxidative stress, like the rusting of an engine, is not a good thing.
Bad for the body,
Leading to disease.
leading to disease and leading to malfunction, and importantly, leading to what we call aging. It is a slow progression of increasing oxidative stress. That's the main characteristic biochemically of the aging process.
The problem of aging begins with the very food we eat to give us energy. As our cells burn that food, they also release toxic chemicals. Those chemicals, you may know them as free radicals, react with all the components of our cells, literally bombarding them millions of times per second, damaging all our cells. The result? Oxidative stress, and we all have it. The body fights back with a system of defenses. It makes two antioxidant enzymes, catalase and SOD, whose job is to gobble up the free radicals before they can harm our cells. So, doctor, how often do I take these? And so, here I go. With that swallow, I've just become part of a potentially landmark scientific experiment. Doesn't taste bad. It's called Protandim, and tests on both mice and humans have already shown that it revs up the manufacture of those good enzymes in our bodies. More enzymes, fewer free radicals to harm us. Whether that will lead to longer life is still unknown. Experiments to see if mice live longer are about to get underway, but it's a tantalizing theory.
Right now, all we know is that this preparation decreases oxidative stress. Oxidative stress is not a disease, just like aging is not in itself a disease, but it's something that accompanies and is attached to many disease processes. And so you can see the age-related.
Normally, oxidative stress, measured by those T-bars, increases with age. But in Dr. McCord's tests, taking just one pill of Protandim a day reversed that trend for everyone at every age, even for an 80-year-old.
They all are reduced to the level of oxidative stress that one would expect, frankly, in a newborn or a very young child.
Back to the oxidative stress levels of a child? It sounds too good to be true. Will Protandim work on me?
The scientific evidence is there. The pieces seem to make sense. The question is, does this translate into something that humans can take advantage of?
And so, ancient Eastern healing and modern Western medicine may soon be working together. High oxidative stress is associated with more than aging. It's been linked to hundreds of illnesses.
It's at the very center of many diseases: liver disease, diabetes, emphysema, asthma. I've studied all of these: strokes, heart attacks,
Even mental disease.
yes,
Depression?
Alzheimer's disease, depression.
Dr. James Crapo with the National Jewish Medical Center in Denver is also researching Protandim for the company. Are you saying that this could be a cure-all?
You're looking at something will have a small impact, but an important impact.
We make no claims about curing any disease or preventing any disease. We hope that when enough studies are done, perhaps such claims might be able to be made in the future.
Clinical studies to assess Protandim in both diabetes and heart disease should start in 3 to 4 months. But what about my progress? After nearly 2 weeks now, it's time to get my results. Dr. McCord calculates the numbers. The result? My level of oxidative stress has declined dramatically.
45%. That's excellent.
Just look at where I fall on the graph, before and after.
Which, if extrapolated back, is the level you would see in a newborn baby.
Have we turned back the clock? Well, maybe not on the outside, but deep inside within my cells. Yes, indeed.
Would you suggest I keep taking this supplement?
I would. I can't guarantee it's going to extend your life. I can't guarantee it's going to eliminate any diseases or cure any diseases.
But we do know that oxidative stress is part of those disease processes. And I don't want to wait until I'm 80 years old and find out that I should have taken it.
For more, go to our website at abcnews.com.
Major universities and government agencies initiated and continue self-funded studies following the ABC Primetime Investigative Report you just viewed that originally aired in 2005. These studies continue to reveal more scientific evidence about Protandem's unique benefits. They are published in major scientific and medical journals. The next video will bring you up to date.
Developed after 40 years of research and exclusively for LifeVantage, Protandem is a true scientific breakthrough in anti-aging. Protandem has been reported on ABC, NBC, and PBS, featured in the Wall Street Journal, and described in CNN Chief Medical Correspondent Dr. Sanjay Gupta's book, Chasing Life, The Quest for Immortality. Protandem's creator, Dr. Joe McCord, is a world-renowned scientist and a pioneer in free radical biology. Dr. McCord is the discoverer of the key anti-aging enzyme superoxide dismutase. His role in the discovery is so significant, the enzyme is measured in McCord units. For Dr. McCord's discovery of superoxide dismutase and his contributions in free radical biology, he was awarded the Elliott Cresson Medal. This medal is awarded to distinguished inventors and scientists, putting Dr. McCord in the same company as Pierre and Marie Curie, Alexander Graham Bell, Orville Wright, and Henry Ford. Dr. Joe McCord has devoted his life's work to the study of free radicals, their role in aging, and the many problems associated with aging. Consumers spend billions every year on antioxidants in the form of food and supplements, hoping to reduce these free radicals. But antioxidants from these sources can only eliminate one free radical for every one antioxidant molecule you consume. Protandem is scientifically proven to slow cellular damage caused by free radicals. Taking one Protandem 1 time per day for 30 days turns on these anti-aging enzymes in your body. Your own enzymes eliminate free radicals at a rate of 1 million to 1.
I think any other supplements that are designed to be antioxidant supplements probably are no longer needed because Protandem solves that problem in a much more effective way.
Protandem is a breakthrough poised to revolutionize the anti-aging industry. It is an entirely new and scientifically validated way to fight aging, reducing your oxidative stress levels to that of a 20-year-old after just 30 days.
We found, as many other scientists had documented, that there is a progressive increase in T-bars in your blood the older you get. When these same people took Protandem for 30 days, the age-dependent increase in lipid peroxidation was completely eliminated. After Protandem, we could no longer distinguish the 80-year-old from the 20-year-old.
Protandem is protected by 3 U.S. patents. Universities around the world continue to initiate and fund their own studies of Protandem and to evaluate how this anti-aging breakthrough can prevent and improve many of the hundreds of problems associated with aging.
Many academic scientists at a number of universities have begun studying Protandem because it represents a new tool. It represents a way of reducing oxidative stress that wasn't available before. There simply was not a good way of doing what Protandem does. Protandim interacts with the DNA in your cells and causes the cells to make more of a set of genes called survival genes. The ingredients in Protandim were actually selected because they're largely metabolized by the liver, which does not interfere with most prescription drugs, which are generally metabolized by the kidneys. So the general answer to that is yes, it is safe. The immediate benefits of Protandim are within several days, the biochemical markers of oxidative stress begin to decrease. And while these are immediate improvements, you may not sense that these things are happening, just as you can't sense what your cholesterol level is, if it's high or low. But nonetheless, these benefits start happening within days of taking Protandim. The advantages to taking Protandim in the long term are that it protects your body from the relentless progression of free radical damage as we age. The anti-aging aspect of Protandim is one that accumulates over time. So the longer you take it, the more protection you will sustain. Missing a dose of Protandim is not a big problem. It takes about 2 weeks for the effects to go away. So if you miss it for 2 weeks, you're pretty much back to where you started from.
Okay, come on. You guys, we got that product. That product is ours. No one created it to have it in a company. Like, this was created by a world-renowned scientist that was solving a problem that is chronic to chronic aging and disease states, and we got it. It's ours, and it's so good. We branded the name, and we created our Tri-Synergizer. Mitochondria, oxidative stress, NAD. Do you know, right? We all know that those are things every guru is talking about in their podcasts. We see it everywhere. One of the people that Gloria continued to refer to and continues to refer to is Dr. Ben Bickman. And he is like, he's just forward thinking when it comes to diabetes, blood sugars, all the things. And she loves his research. And she sent me an article he did on the harmful effects of oxidative stress. This is not something that was just relevant once upon a time with Protandim. It's more relevant today than it's ever been, and we have a solution. So don't forget that. Don't forget that. So I asked a few people if they would come on and share their stories, like their beginning stories. And for one of them, it is her father. And the story is going to blow you away. So, Jeanette Palmer, would you please unmute and share the story of your dad with Protandim Nerve 2? You look beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, thank you. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. That's sweet. Yeah, so I joined 11 years ago. All we had was Protandim and what do we have? Protandim and True Science, just the one. And just one True Science. Anyways, so I joined, I watched the ABC investigative report that you guys pretty much just watched, but that beginning report, I was blown away by the science. Like, it was just blew me away. And so my dad in August of 2013 was diagnosed with the onset stage of mental forgetfulness. And so we went to the doctor, and then I proceeded to look for an alternative to what they were saying was going to happen to him. They wanted to put him on a ton of medication, told us basically he's a pastor, basically he needed to, lower his stress in his life and all this stuff. So the research went on. Well, then October, this fell into my lap. Actually, it was like mid-September, this fell into my lap. Started doing the research, just went in, did my due diligence, went on to pubmed.gov. We've all done it, looked up, mental forgetfulness and what it was related to with Nerve 2. to, and I was blown away. My dad's now been on it for 11 years and he has had zero progression. He's actually gone in the reverse. He gets tested every year and they've not upped his meds. Actually, the last my dad and I talked, he's like, "Can you come with me to the doctor? I just want to get off this medication," because he doesn't need it. He does not need any of the medication he's on. It's phenomenal. He's doing great. And, you know, it's all because of that video we just watched. That's what sparked my interest. So yeah. And it's changed my father's life. It's changed our family's life. So
Thank you, Jeanette. No progression. No progression. Like, amazing. What a blessing for him. Thank you so much. Okay, Laura Nowicki, I would love for you to share your story.
All right, thank you. I was introduced to this over 9 years ago. At the time, I was in my early 40s, and I was not well. I had headaches, and I would sing songs about headaches to my kids that I was homeschooling. I was literally pulling out my hair. And yes, I have a lot of kids, but I wasn't pulling out my hair because of my kids. I was literally trying to stop the headaches. I was having trouble sleeping. All of it sounded like hormonal issues. And I went in and had all my hormones tested, and everything was fine. And as grateful as I was to be fine, I wasn't fine. And one day my daughter came with pigtails and she was asking me a question, and I literally yanked on her pigtails, and I knew I needed something to help. But I've never been a pharmaceutical person. The doctors did recommend like an antidepressant, and I'm like, no, I'm really not depressed. I'm not well. So I was introduced on Thanksgiving, and God has a wonderful sense of humor. I'm so grateful. Um, and I had 3 of the 5 ingredients in my medicine cabinet. So I was super leery. Although Diana did a great job. She just kept inviting me. She put me on 3-way calls. She introduced me. And when I started doing my research on Dr. Joe McCord and getting into the science, I know that that excited me. And so introduced on Thanksgiving, I bought it for myself for Christmas. My birthday is January 13th, and I could tell I was starting to feel better. And it was a process. I mean, I wasn't all better. I added Axio about 1.5 years later, and that helped with the brain fog. I literally called my husband one day from the end of my road in tears, just not knowing where I was going, who I was picking up or dropping off, and what was going on. And so I started the Axio. And then that was just like this cloud lifted. It was amazing. And then the story continues. I don't want to take too much time, but in November, through I think one person, big difference, I was introduced to a woman on Instagram who had just joined our company and was killing it. And she has something called lipedema. And I have had lipedema for 30 years and never knew it had a name and never knew what it was. And I have these fat nodules all over my legs and arms. I have 35 of them at last count. I've had a number of them removed, and the doctors just say that it's benign fat. It's benign fat. Needless to say, the MB has been helping well, the collagen helped tremendously. They used to be visible through my yoga pants. And my husband would just, there's one on my arm, and he would just kind of go like this constantly. My kids would play with them. So the collagen, they're no longer visible through my yoga pants. And then with the MB, I'm just seeing I'm just feeling so much better. So not really losing weight too much yet, but I can tell there's so much more than just the weight loss. So the story continues.
Love it. What a blessing. What a blessing. Oh, thank you so much, Laura. And I just want to say before we get to our last guest too, I meant to tell you this beforehand, but I'm so sorry. When you watch this back, I would suggest, I do this all the time and I typically will do it while the Zoom is on, but I will have my video ready to go so that when somebody is telling their story, I turn my video on and I start like recording their story. So when you watch this back, do that. Like record their story and just remember that like stop it at a minute and then start it again, because when you put this in your stories, it'll only play a video for a minute, right? So it's easier to stop and restart instead of trying to edit a video. So just a tip for you when stories like this come about and they're so powerful, they're great things to have playing in your stories. Okay, Dr. Jennifer Katzer, thank you so much for saying yes. I would love to hear your story.
Tanya, thank you so much for doing this tonight. Wow, like what's so cool is to know my story, but also to be listening to everybody share their stories and think about the amount of people that I've gotten to bless with those same stories. And I think the more that you share this, the more you get to have more stories. And it's just a reminder of how profound and impactful activation is. So 2 years ago, I started using collagen and NRF2. And I was practicing as a chiropractor. I love my profession. I didn't want to quit being a chiropractor, but my body hurt so bad. And honestly, I wanted more time with my kids. So I said yes to this. It was after seeing my first event that Jillian thankfully invited me to that I learned about increasing glutathione by 300%. And I was immediately like, holy cow, because I'm giving glutathione to supplement people's glutathione, not production, but to supplement the fact that they're not producing it anymore. And I honestly had no idea how much it was increasing in their body. I just knew that they needed it to improve hormones. And all of my patients had been asking me for years to like switch that because it tasted terrible. So I was all in when I saw it, but I had no idea that once I started taking the NRF2 and collagen, how much it would impact my body. I went from getting massages every week because my neck and shoulders were so sore. And now I get massages like once a year, once or twice a year, just because I love doing it, not because I have to do it. But the biggest thing for me is that my wrist hurt so bad. I was getting them adjusted 3 times a week. I was getting them wrapped to support them. And I had been taking collagen for 20 years leading up to this. Like I'd done the powder collagen since I was in college because I knew that my body was breaking it down. I played volleyball, I played softball, and I had been hard on my joints. And I really just thought, well, I was just hard on my joints. Like this is how they're going to feel for the rest of my life, because the powdered collagen didn't work. And then I switched to liquid collagen, 3 different types of liquid collagen. And I could tell a difference, but I still had wrist pain. And within 2 weeks of taking NRF2 and collagen, I did not have wrist pain. And I've not had wrist pain for the last 2 years at all. And I'm so immensely grateful for that. But I'm really immensely grateful for all the stories that I have been able to transform in other people's lives since sharing this with them too. So thank you for that reminder tonight. I'm really, truly humbled and grateful.
Thank you for sharing. You guys, why do you think Protandim is the foundation of every stack we have? Like that's the synergy, that's the golden ticket, like that's the juiciness that layers everything else and brings a synergy. That should be a song. Bring the synergy, bring the synergy. Like there's got to be, somebody give me a beat. Like that's where it's at. So all this to say, just get back, find your passion again. Find the thing, whether it's mind body, whether it's collagen, Axio, the hair care, pet tandem. I know Protandem's in the story. and find that thing. When was the last time you shared your story? When was the last time you turned the camera on yourself and you made a video of you sharing your story so that you could put success for yourself aside and focus on the significance that you can bring to other people? That was a quote we shared on the SC call from John Maxwell. Success is about you, significance is about others. Get back to the place of significance. Get out of your head about, I don't know what to do anymore because things are all over the place, and just get back to the place of ease where it just flows from you because you know what you love, you know what it did for you, you know what it did for your family, and that's what you're going to talk about. People will see the difference, they'll feel the difference, and they'll know that it's real because they'll feel that energy that it's coming from you. Okay? So love you all very much. Proud of you for showing up tonight when everybody else is showing us pictures in Africa. Don't we wish we were there? I should have, like, I don't know, anyway. But it's okay. We're here and we are working. So love you all very much. Have a great night. Make this fun. Get into your zone of patience and passion and just go have fun. Get back to the place that you love. Okay? All right. Love you all very much. Have a good night. Oh, did I record? I did record. Oh, okay. Bye, everybody.